What is going on, guys? My name is The Rose, and after another hiatus weekend, due to some things, we are back with the Game Corner Podcast, episode 13, after episode 12 abruptly ended. I was supposed to record this last week with Sean with last week's set of news, but shit happened, and I actually tried to record this by myself on Monday, and then Audacity crashed, and the recording file was corrupting when transferring from my camera. I don't know why, so I just said fuck it and figured, well, this week will be episode 13. So we got some news on some fighting game stuff. The next character for Dragon Ball FighterZ. We got the next character for Street Fighter V. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. We have the complete edition for Disgaea 1 HD and the complete collector's edition for it. We'll also be talking about that tomorrow. We have some news on the new Call of Duty Black Ops game and what it will not have and what it wants to be. All that and more on the Game Corner Podcast. So, man, I don't know how you felt today, but for me, it's like whatever could have gone wrong went wrong today.
Okay, so what happened?
So, this morning, I don't want to keep making it a thing to bitch about Funko.
Okay.
Let me turn my TV down a little bit so it doesn't get caught on camera. Got the Yankees game on in the background for anyone who gives a fuck. So Funko released a new Ad Icons cereal pop this morning.
Okay.
Toucan Sam, the Fruit Loops mascot. Motherfuckers went ape shit over this thing. Completely destroyed their freaking website for an hour and a half. So they decided to go switch to their backup website without telling anybody.
Yeah.
So apparently, I don't know how many people were like checking both websites. And I'm guessing, because Funko never mentioned they were going to switch sites to sell the item. Well, apparently some people knew about it, and it was sold out after they made the switch. It was sold out in about 30 seconds.
Did they not have a limit on them?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
it was limited one per customer. But you got all these assholes now that buy bots.
Yeah, that's true.
I've mentioned that before.
Yeah, you mentioned it with with cons and stuff, but I'm looking at this Funko Pop, like the Toucan Sam one, and it actually, like, I don't like Funko Pops. I think they look very samey, but this one looks really nice. Like, it's really well made.
The Tony the Tiger one I really like as well.
Okay, I gotta Google that. So I can see.
They also made the Lucky Charms leprechaun, the Trix rabbit, the Cocoa Puffs bird.
Okay. I think I've seen the Lucky Charms leprechaun. This Tony the Tiger one is gonna haunt my fucking nightmares. Because his eyes are like. It makes sense because that's how Funko makes eyes, right? Is that they're like black and soulless, but like
they're like black,
the way they're
eyes.
Positioned on his head is fucking terrifying with that expression.
Dude, and that out of all the cereal pops, that one is worth the most.
Oh my god.
So
it's great.
So after that bullshit went down, I reserved my copy of God of War on the Redbox website, right?
Yeah, because you were gonna rent it and stream it, right?
Yeah. And I had a discount coupon for $1.25 off my first night because
that's pretty good.
I was planning to keep the game for 2 to 3 days, however long it takes me to beat it.
Mm-hmm.
So I used the coupon. I picked the closest Redbox that received it, to my house. My mom drives me over there to pick it up. No big deal. Get there, the fucking machine's broken.
Oh, it sucks.
So now I lost my coupon,
Mm-hmm.
lost my reserve, could not use the same card to go to the second box to pick it up where I actually did get it from. Because it was a new debit card, and it's not new to me anymore, but it is to Redbox. It's the first time I was using it at Redbox, and when you're a first-time card user for that particular card, Redbox has a thing where they limit you to how much you can rent at one time.
Oh, that's stupid.
So because I had my game reserved under that card already, and I couldn't pick up the reserve because the machine was broken, I had to use a different card to pick up my game. So now I ended up paying full price I called the Red Box and I told them what happened, and all they did was gave me a coupon code to use for one free rental for one night on my next rental, good for up to 45 days. So meanwhile now, I lost my coupon. I'm not getting a replacement coupon.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna waive the charges for this rental. I'm now paying full price for this rental. If I want to get this game for one night for free, I'll have to return it tomorrow, or rent another one tomorrow and return this one that I have now to get the second day for free if I really want to do that.
Yeah, that seems like a bunch of fucking hassle.
Where Redbox, is Redbox, they could have easily gone in and waived the charges for, this rental.
Yeah.
They could have gave it to me for at least one day for free. But no, not getting my coupon back. I'm now paying full price for it when I was only going to pay $1.87 for the first night instead of $3.20. And, oh boy. And it was just a fucking hassle.
Okay.
At least I'm able to stream the fucking game. I did do a test earlier. I streamed the first 9 minutes.
So there's no blocked scenes or anything?
No. Because the way that they did this game, like the cutscenes, like kind of go back and forth in between the gameplay. Whereas, like, how some games do things, like you have your gameplay segment and then you can clearly tell it's going to be a cutscene coming up.
Yeah.
This
I
game,
know what you mean.
this game just goes from gameplay to cutscene. Like it literally looks like it was supposed to happen.
Okay.
And because of the way they did it, I guess they couldn't block it because it probably would have messed with the gameplay aspect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I did watch a bit of a Let's Play. DSP Gaming so far uploaded 12 parts already of his Let's Play in one day.
Fucking Christ.
I skimmed through all the videos he uploaded. So far, I've not seen any sex or any, orgy scenes in the game yet. So I'm wondering if they even took that out completely.
I'm not sure, because, like, part of me is, like, that's something God of War has that I feel like they'd keep in.
Dude, they changed from what I've seen just by skimming
I've
that
seen
guy's videos.
the gameplay and how it's changed, and I really like the way it looks now. It looks way more, visceral. Like, you're kind of up close in the thick of it. Like, I was gonna buy God of War today because it just came out today, I believe.
I've noticed though that the game got like really menu heavy. Like it wants you to go in and out of the menus a lot.
Yeah, that's fucking BS. That sounds really irritating.
That's the only thing so far I don't think I'm gonna like about this game.
Yeah, that's fair. As for me, I got sick 2 weeks ago. Actually, it might have been a little over 2 weeks ago now.
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
My roommate got really sick, and I don't have a lot of empathy for people. But at the same time, first of all, he sleeps on our couch, so he's in my living room. And second is, I was in the hospital a lot as a kid, so I can sympathize with what it's like to be bedridden. So he's telling me that, like, it's just allergies, it's just hay fever, it's going to be fine, right? Now, this motherfucker either had bronchitis or pneumonia, based on what I've looked up, because I couldn't go see a doctor. I don't have Medicare coverage, like medical coverage, because of how Canada's medical system works. Like, it is socialized, like, it is free, but you need an insurance card from the government to go get your health care, which I don't have because the government fucked up. So anyway, for the past, 2 weeks, I've just been kind of in different states of dying. Like, I'm still kind of congested right now, but I'm the best I've felt in 2 weeks.
Well, that's good to hear. At least you're getting better.
Yeah. So, that was good to feel better. I dealt with a work situation today. That was fun. I had my boss at one of the things I work on explode at myself and there's me, who's lead editor, and then there's a guy who works underneath me as a proofreader. So, I go in and I change all the stuff, and the proofreader makes sure that it's good. Now, what happened was somebody got their copy of the book that we were doing, and he noticed that there were 2 errors in it. And he pointed this out to us, and there's only 2 errors in the entire script thus far of this 200-page book. and our bosses fucking exploded at us to the point where like I considered quitting on the spot. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. If you're gonna swear at me because of first of all, I'm gonna take responsibility for it even though it's not really my mistake because there's a proofreader who's supposed to be doing his fucking job. And like so anyway, that was fun. I got a copy of Yakuza 6 from Amazon yesterday. And I've been playing that. That's fucking great. It's a really good game. I got it's called the After Hours Premium Edition. It's kind of like this, like the collector's edition. It's an extra $30 Canadian over the normal version. And with it, you get 2 whiskey stones. Of course, I would buy that. 2 bar coasters, and they're like really nice, like thick, well-designed coasters. I'm actually holding them right now. You get 2 bar glasses, but they're identical designs, but they're like a small, short, round glass, like a whiskey glass. And then you get an art book, a collector's box, and the game.
So are you actually going to drink out of those whiskey glasses?
I already did.
Really?
That was the first thing I did, was I washed them out and had a drink.
Like, literally, I don't use my collector's edition items just because if something happens to it, I would no longer have it.
That's fair. I tend not to most of the time, but when it's like if I get like a figurine, I'm gonna put it on display, or like if I get stuff like that, I'm gonna use it. But anyway, yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying Yakuza 6 so far. I probably spent like 4 hours playing it today. But otherwise, not a lot's been going on.
I mean, I've been fighting fucking, I don't know if it's spring allergies or my body is really having a really big fight with a cold that it doesn't want to come on. Because I have been sneezing a lot this week. And I know my nephew has a cold. My brother has an ear infection and post-nasal drip. And a bit of a sore throat because of the post-nasal drip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I sound like congested or stuffy at all to you.
Not really, no.
I feel fine right now. Like, it only really bothers me after I sneeze.
Okay, that sucks.
So yeah, that sucks. Part of that is the reason why I haven't really been sleeping all too well this week. I'm surprised I'm still awake right now, actually. I've been awake since 4:51 a.m., so that's always fun. And I'm still gonna stream too, because monetize this is tonight.
Yeah, like I'm the same way. Like I've been sleeping like shit for the past 2 weeks. I probably got up around 5 a.m. this morning, and it is currently 8:45.
Yeah, so you probably woke up right around the same time as I did.
Yeah, I had some Red Bull earlier though, so I should be good to go when you stream later.
So I guess the only good thing that happened to me over the past week really is I got a haircut and a shave.
That's nice.
So yeah, there's that. I actually pre-ordered last Sunday the Spider-Man Collector's Edition for PS4.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
And the Sonic Mania Plus Collector's Edition, physical Collector's Edition for the Switch.
That's only like $40 Canadian.
Yeah, it's only 30 US. So
it's fucking crazy.
So yeah, I almost forgot that I did that. Now that Disgaea HD, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, got that Collector's Edition, and I'm seeing at how low the volume, the stock left for that is already.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to wait until Monday because I get my last paycheck from the newspaper today.
Right.
I'm supposed to, but it usually comes in on Monday. But once I get that, I'm probably gonna pre-order Disgaea.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do that after this podcast because I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to wait.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I mean, the numbers are going down pretty fast.
But so that's besides Saturday night when I had spaghetti and meatballs for dinner and. I don't know what the fuck that meat was laced with, but I've never eaten anything before in my life that has knocked me out cold afterwards.
Shit, dude.
So that's why part of the reason why episode 13 didn't get recorded last week. It figures it happened on the weekend of Friday the 13th, no less. So with that being said, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Links will all be in the description box down below, as well as following Black Sakura on Facebook. Follow Chceck on Twitch and stuff now. I'm actually going to start plugging his Twitch now that he's finally able to stream games more often and whatnot. And of course, check out jotaku.net where we release occasional gaming, anime, manga articles and whatnot. I have not been able to submit anything since my Street Fighter review. Kind of feel bad about that. Kind of been busy and whatnot, so I got to get on that.
Yeah, I keep needing to write stuff for it, but then what tends to happen is whenever I'm like ready to, I either can't find the right words to express what I want to say, or what's even worse is I find, like, for example, Junji Ito Collection came out, and it's like, it's absolute fucking trash. It's a really bad anime, and I love Junji Ito. So I was going to write an article on basically just how fucking disappointed I was, because I watched the first episode and was really just not impressed. But apparently Super Eyepatch Wolf on YouTube put out a video and basically summarized my thoughts better than I could have ever hoped to.
I see.
Which made me kind of mad, because I was like, well, there's no point in me saying anything. It's already been said.
So since you went ahead and summarized everything, I'm going to let you take the lead on, I guess, the order of, how we discuss things.
I guess we'll start with the little stuff first. So, apparently Dissidia NT is getting its first DLC character on the 28th of this month. And it's going to be Final Fantasy XII antagonist Vayne Solidor. He's going to come with 2 color variants and 2 weapons for, I believe it said 800 yen.
Yes.
So that's about $9.99, I think, Canadian. I don't know what that is in US. I'd assume it's probably going to be the same in US as $8 or something.
Yeah, it's
$7.50.
Yeah, it's about $8 here.
So honestly, regarding this, I genuinely think that it's too little, too late. I could not Dissidia at this point will have been out for 3 months, and that game is a fucking dumpster fire. I have played it to hell and back. I have wanted to enjoy it, because I really like the PSP Dissidia games, and I really like fighting games. And I really like Gundam Versus, which it takes a lot of cues from. But I just think that, waiting 3 months for one character in a game that simplistic is very, it feels wrong to me. And then on top of that, you need to consider that, if Arc System Works can give us 2 characters every 2 months, because, we're going to talk about that soon, but I believe they said that Zamasu is going to be at the end of May, but that's also just a rumor. So yeah, if Arc Sys can give us 2 characters every 2 months, there's no excuse for them taking, and Arc Sys has really detailed animations and stuff. There's no excuse for Dissidia, which is a much more simplistic game, even if it is 3D, taking this long to give us 1.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's kind of how.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of like how Tekken, Bamco was taking forever to give us the guest characters for Tekken. It took them almost a year to get both characters out.
Yeah, and I think that's fucking bullshit. I understand that it takes time to perfect all that stuff and test it and make sure that it's good, but I don't know. It doesn't. It feels like there's no excuse, really. Especially when you're thinking about fighting games, where it's fighting games kind of come and go. They're very popular 1 minute, and then they're kind of dead the next.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Dragon Ball is still fucking super popular, though, which is nice.
I think only because it's an anime fighter, it's benefiting from that, and the fact that Super
really
Super is still going on in America as well, on TV.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But yeah, I think that, with this character, it's too little too late. It's honestly kind of pathetic that game. I wish what they would do is not give us any fucking DLC. I want them to fix the problems with that game.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I must be honest, though, I haven't touched it since probably the second week of February. Square Enix is just on kind of a downward spiral, and this is emblematic of that. Also, why the fuck, if they're going to give us a character from 12, give us Balthier, give us somebody that we care about. The main antagonist, whatever, right? It's nice to have that representation, since I think Vaughn is in Dissidia NT. But does anybody really care about the main antagonist of 12? Like, Gaberinth is a more popular character than this guy. For God's sake. And Gaberinth is just like Darth Vader. That's his whole thing, is he's Darth Vader. But do you have anything else to say on that, or are we going to move on? Because I'm just going to get salty about Square Enix.
Yeah, I think we should move on, because I never played the game, so I really don't have anything to say about it.
It's shit.
Other than, I guess I could ask you, do you think there's anything they can do to fix this game? Completely,
at this point,
to make
no,
it
I don't.
Interesting.
I really don't. I think what they'd have to do is basically rebuild it from the ground up.
Really?
And they're not going to do that. The thing about that game, in my opinion, is that is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Taken to its logical extreme. Like the old PSP games, there was nothing wrong with them. And they decided to switch it up, and like, it was very popular in Japanese arcades, and I'm sure that it works well in an arcade setting. But as a console experience, it really doesn't. It falls flat. And I want to like it. Like, I really wanted to enjoy that game, and I just fucking can't.
Well, I don't know, man. Hopefully Square Enix realizes their mistakes if they're going to make another one. They actually do it right.
Dissidia Final Fantasy 15 edition coming soon.
Oh, God.
I would seriously hang myself with my own necktie if that is ever announced.
Oh, Christ.
But so keeping up with fighting games, so Dragon Ball FighterZ, the fucking godsend that it is. Recently there were leaks in V-Jump magazine showing Vegito Blue in Dokkan Battle and Fused Zamasu in Fighters.
See, the picture I'm looking at shows Fused Zamasu, and there's a character on the right. Well, can't really see much of his hair. You can only see his face. It's a Saiyan character. I want to say it's... Looks like they're in super form.
Okay, let me take a look at the actual... Because Maximilian, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's like a fighting game streamer.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, Max showed the video of this, where it's like on the left page it's Vegito Blue, and on the right page it's Zamasu.
Right.
So this is in line with some of the DLC leaks that came out a while back.
But this other character looks like, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but this other character looks like a Super Saiyan.
I can't really make that out, if I'm honest with you.
I mean, I've heard, we've heard rumors of, Super Vegito. You've heard rumors of base form Goku, base form Vegeta. Which, please, we don't need any more Vegeta and Goku forms. We already have two. I
wouldn't be mad if they played differently. But they're not going to.
Shut my fucking door. Shit. Fuck. I went to shut my door because my nephew decided to open it, and I can't reach it from here. Anyways, continue. Okay.
Yeah, so like regarding that, like I've heard rumors of that. I've heard rumors of like Cooler in Android 17, and these are in line with the rumors that we've heard so far. So I really hope that those are true, because like I think it was like leaks or data mines or something. And I'm personally quite excited for Cooler in Android 17 if that happens. But regarding base form Goku and Vegeta, like, if they play differently to how their current forms play, I'm not going to be mad.
I just don't want to see a third version of them in the game.
Taking up two
more slots.
Yeah, that's fair, but I honestly don't think... I can't think of other characters from Dragon Ball that I would want, or Dragon Ball Z specifically in Super, that I would want to see.
I can.
Like who then?
I would rather see Vegito or Gogeta, either one.
Gogeta would be cool.
I wouldn't mind seeing more characters from Super, like give us like Caulifla, maybe. Give us like Caulifla and Kale because Kale's like the female version of Broly.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat.
Give us Caulifla. Give us, give us some more interesting characters. Instead of just rehashing the same ones we have.
Yeah,
I would be fine with 17. Coming into the game, I would be totally fine with Cooler or Metal Cooler. I think would be pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see another form of Goku and another form of Vegeta in the game because, that to me, I don't know, I just don't like it.
I know that personally, I am just okay. I'm gonna get back on point for a second, and then I'll explain. I'm gonna get salty for a second here because I've been playing a lot of Dragon Ball lately, but so apparently Zamasu himself, they claim that he has like a flying 8-way movement mechanic, which sounds like it's gonna be fucking annoying if they don't implement it correctly. Like if they give him unlimited flight, it's gonna be just a pain in the ass to play as him and to fight him. But I don't think Arxis is that stupid.
Right.
And they've also shown there's screen caps of his 2 supers. But there's no actual like footage or anything, so we don't really have a lot of details on those. Like the names have been revealed, but there's nothing else on them. So anyway, I'm kind of excited for Fuse Zamasu. I'm probably not going to change my team, but at least he's going to be better than fucking Broly and Bardock.
Yeah, you got to tell me about those characters, because I still have yet to try them out.
I play Dragon Ball as soon as I wake up every day for about 2 or 3 hours, and usually right before bed for 2 or 3 more hours. And if I'm bored, I fucking play some Dragon Ball. Like, I play a lot of Dragon Ball. And I am so fucking tired of seeing Bardock and Broly. Like, it's to the point now where there are certain characters that I'm just tired of fighting, and Bardock and Broly are definitely high up there, because Bardock plays similarly to Goku, but he's more of a rushdown character. Like, his whole thing is he pressures you, like his moves are really good. They're quite similar to Goku's in terms of animation, but his moves are all very good. To the point where you have no breathing room. Broly, meanwhile, is some fucking bullshit. Broly is neither fun to play as nor fun to fight. Because,
I would imagine because he's a big character, he's probably really heavy and slow, right?
He's reasonably slow. I've only played as him once. I'm going to tell you that now, because I didn't enjoy him. But the things that piss me off about Broly are as follows. When you're playing as Broly, if your opponent is crouching and blocking, if they block his first 2 hits, his third one is supposed to be like a grab where he kind of hoists you over his head and then like, I think he like grapples you or something. But if you're crouching, you go under that grab.
Really?
Which is great if you're fighting Broly. But if you're playing as Broly, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so it's like a double-edged sword, I suppose.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage, but like it's one of the few moves in that game where I've actually had a character, like, completely miss an attack despite having me in block stun. Where it's like, you can counter that immediately with literally any attack. But then one of his specials, so first of all, his super is really bad. It's, this giant green ball of energy that he kind of, he sends out towards the ground, and it moves very slow, but it does a lot of damage.
Oh, what the fuck's the name of that move?
I don't know the name of it.
Gigantic something. I know what move you're talking about. It's his signature, his signature move.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played any other Dragon Ball games, so I don't remember the name of the move, but if you're someone who knows how to do like an aerial recovery, or like a quick recovery, like a wake up from the ground, that move is typically going to get blocked. Unless, of course, Broly has you like in an aerial combo, and then he sends you towards the ground and then immediately uses this move, in which case it's going to do a lot of damage. But then on top of that, he is the only character in this game that I've encountered who has super armor. So what he does, there's this one move that he does where he kind of like, You know how like Goku and Vegeta have a move where they charge forward and they kind of kick you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Broly has something very similar where he charges forward and like smashes you with his entire body.
Oh shit.
But the thing is that on startup, because this move has like a 2 second delay, I want to say. On startup, he has super armor. Like I've tried hitting him with say like my crouching heavy, which like all crouch heavies have overhead and they put you in the air. Or sorry, they're invincible against overheads. They knock you in the air, and you can follow up with super dash. Like they're kind of like a cinematic move, right? Like the camera angle cuts and stuff. Broly is immune to that when he's charging up this move. Like if he blocks it or misses, or if you block it or he misses, then he's gonna get punished. Like there's quite a lot of recovery. But the fact that it has super armor in the first place does not sit well with me.
Yeah, I don't
because
think
of how Dragon Ball plays.
I don't think any character should have super armor.
No, I don't. I agree with that. But so I've been playing a lot of DBZ lately, and I love this game, but the more I play it, the saltier I get. And I'm gonna explain why. So I've noticed a couple of problems that I never noticed before, and it's that a lot of the characters play very similarly to one another. At least like the same basic combos and stuff. Like they have differences, of course, but there's one or two combos that are pretty much universal, common in fighting games all that often.
Right.
And then on top of that, I'm really tired of seeing certain team compositions and certain strategies. For example, I play Goku Black, and I play Super Saiyan Vegeta, and I play Trunks. That's my main three. But personally, I'm tired of seeing Goku Black players who don't know how to play Goku Black. And I'm really fucking tired of seeing Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. And I'm really tired of seeing Adult Gohan. And I am so fucking tired of Kid Buu.
Well, I guess you would want to play against me then, because I used two of those three characters you just mentioned.
Oh my god.
Plus Goku Black.
I mean, Goku Black's fine if you know how to play Goku Black. Like, I've met some Goku Black players who don't know how to play Goku Black, and that kind of upsets me a little bit. But then I know guys who can, like, fucking combo the shit out of you as Goku Black. Like, they know his moveset inside and out, which is great. But anyway, the reason I don't like these characters, I'm just going to run through the list. Goku Black is very good, but he also has a very low, he has a low entry barrier. Like, new players can pick up and play that character very easily.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has a really good moveset.
Plus, he has range with some of his attacks.
Yeah, he does. He has two different beams, one of which locks you in place if you're blocking or walking backwards. He has a teleport, which instant transmission I don't have much of a use for, but I've seen players make really good use of it. His down heavy is like has really good invincibility on it. Like his upward slash is really good. And then his dive kick, like both of his aerial specials are really good. But I'm tired of seeing Goku and Vegeta because when I see players play Goku, typically what they do is they spam the instant transmission kick and like the vanish like 1 meter teleport. When I see players play Vegeta, typically what they do is they'll back up, they'll wait for you to come to them, they'll use Big Bang Attack once, you'll block it, then right before you get to them, they'll use Big Bang Attack again and hit you with it.
See, I definitely don't play Vegeta that way. I play more aggressively. Like, I'm not going to sit back and wait for you to come to me. I'm just going to straightforward bully your ass.
Yeah, which is how the game is meant to be played. That's how fighting games are supposed to be played. Like, in Guilty Gear and in BlazBlue, there's a thing where it's like, if you back up from your opponent too much, like if you don't play aggressively enough, you start getting what's called a negative penalty, which means that if your opponent hits you, the amount of damage that you take will increase exponentially.
Well, shit.
Like, it's not like, I think it's like only like 1.25 times or 2 times damage, but it's a lot. Like, it adds up.
So, like, the way I play Blue Vegeta, like, I'll back up, like, sometimes, initially I'll back up, like, a little bit, because I want to, I want to see what you're gonna do first.
Yeah, which is fair.
If then I realize you're not gonna come at me,
you're gonna rush in there.
Then I'm gonna rush in there. I'm not gonna try to fake you out with a fucking Big Bang attack, which, for Blue Vegeta is pretty much a weak fucking move.
It is, yeah.
I'm just gonna rush in there and just beat your ass if I can.
The thing is, it's not a clever strategy. It's not an interesting strategy. It's not a good strategy, and it's not one that's hard to beat. Like it's really not hard to see through. And then Kid Buu, the reason I
hate Kid Buu myself.
The reason I hate Kid Buu is not that Kid Buu is a bad character. It's not that he's a difficult character to fight. It's that every player that I've seen play Kid Buu plays the same fucking combo.
The ground stomping bullshit and the
Then he'll, at the end of the combo, he turns you into candy and hits you with his level 1.
I fucking hate that combo.
It's so fucking lazy. I get it. It's a decent combo. It has good range and good damage. But my fucking god, learn how to play your character in a more varied manner.
Yeah, I don't like Kid Buu. I don't like any of the Boos. I never did.
Me either.
As for Ultimate Gohan, I just like how fast his character is.
I've been playing as him lately, and I enjoy playing as him. But my problem is that people who play as adult Gohan will typically get 7 meter because he has that super where he gets more damage and more defense. They'll get 7 meter as their other 2 characters, tag into adult Gohan, and spend all 7 meter.
Yeah, to turn him Mystic.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
I've seen that done, yep.
It's like... Oh, man, there's a really good Reddit post recently where it's like which character you main and what stereotype you fall into, and most of them are not as salty as I would like, but they're pretty accurate.
I mean, with me, when I played Gohan, which I don't play him as much anymore, because... I like Android 21, so I kind of main her more than him now.
21's pretty great.
But I still play him, and if I do get to max key, I'll spend maybe 2 or 3 of it because, to power him up some, because his ultimate only takes 3 bars.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to spend all 7 because I'd rather hit you with an ultimate, if I can.
Yeah, and I've noticed a few basic strategies that always work, if somebody's going to try to super dash into you, what I'll do is I'll usually switch into Vegeta and use Final Flash immediately. Because it really fucks with them. It's fucking great. So that's a fun thing to do. What else have I been doing recently? I've also noticed, and I think this is by virtue of how new some of these people are at fighting games, not many people know how to use, the mid-air recovery.
Oh yeah,
and that kind of bothers me. My battle power right now is 35k, which is not very high. It's not a lot. Sorry, 350k.
That's a lot more than mine. Mine, I don't even think I hit 200,000 yet, mainly because I haven't been playing as much as you.
Yeah, I've been playing daily. So my current in-game rank is Super Saiyan 2, I think. People don't know how to do aerial recovers, and that bugs me because it feels wrong to me to hit somebody with a combo that I know shouldn't hit. But they're too new or whatever, at battle power 350,000, when you're, whatever rank I am right now, which isn't even really that high. I've only fought about 200 matches, and I think I've only won about 100 of them, if that.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the game either.
Yeah, I'm not great. I get bodied all the time. I've been playing a lot better recently, though. I've won most of my matches in the last day or 2. But, it's like this. When I'm playing as Teen Trunks, or as Trunks, for example, if I get you into the air, I shouldn't be able to hit you with his, his attack where he, jumps forward and then slashes you a bunch of times with the sword?
Yeah, I mean, I don't play him all that much.
Yeah, well, that attack isn't supposed to hit. If you do an aerial recovery, it's not going to hit. So if it hits, I actually feel kind of bad. Which is kind of I guess, kind of a really stupid reason to be salty, but it's
I mean, fuck it. If someone else is going to play stupid and your attack's going to hit, fuck it, I'll take it.
Yeah. I've noticed some cheap-ass bullshit, too, recently, where it's because the game has so few defensive options, it's almost impossible to recover in certain situations, and that really bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's like I've always said, man. When you're cornered, you're fucked. Pretty much.
Also, so one more thing I will note is that I was talking to my friend yesterday because he plays Dragon Ball religiously as well, and we came to the conclusion that there's 4 types of players in Dragon Ball, and I'm actually just going to get the message that I had sent to him. It was let's see here. Hell, where was it? Okay, you've got scrubs with skill in air quotes, who use generally unfair techniques whenever they can get away with it, including but not limited to beam spam, vanish spam, super dashing constantly, and getting you into a corner and then just raping you.
And with me, I do a little bit of all 4.
I do the corner stuff because I'm an asshole. But then you've got unskilled scrubs who don't know how to air recover, don't know how to delay their recovery, and don't know how to block mix-ups, like whenever you do an overhead attack in your combo. Then you have genuinely skilled players who are a joy to fight because you learn new things from them.
That might
and then
be
you
me.
have fucking rage quitters.
I fucking hate rage quitters.
The worst was... Okay. There's 2 types of rage quitters, okay? There's the guy who's a cunt. And there's the guy who's like a decent human being. The rage quitter who's a cunt is the guy who quits out of the game just when you're about to kick his ass because he can't stand the fact that he's about to lose. The guy who's a decent human being doesn't quit out of the game, but puts down his controller, like in his lap or wherever, and just lets you win when he gets angry. Now, I don't like either of those. I think both of those are really shitty. But one of them is better than the other.
I encounter a lot of lag switchers.
Yeah, me too.
I fucking hate them.
I actually tend to win against lag switchers, which is funny as fuck.
And some of the people I really hate too in the game are the people that are so cocky. Like, they'll fucking let you win a round or 2, and then they'll just, like, come back and beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times. I also really don't like those guys where it's like, you beat them twice in a row. Because now the matches are 3 out of 5. They beat you once, and then they don't want a rematch. Because they're like, oh, I beat them.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
awesome.
Because they're afraid you're going to win the next time.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Come on.
It's like, you're having a good fight, good match, back and forth. You come close to winning. Give the guy a fucking rematch. I think you deserve it.
Yeah. I almost always do full 3 out of 5 sets. The only time I didn't was, in recent memory, was this morning. I ended up fighting the same guy twice, and he was like a fucking asshole. When it came to actually playing, so I was like, well, fuck this. I don't want to fight this guy again. So I ended up returning to the lobby.
I mean, I'm like that in Tekken, too. If I'm having a good fight with somebody, fuck it, give him a rematch. Yeah.
Because you learn stuff.
Especially if you're the one that lost, because you're like, wow, I probably should have won that fight.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I've learned some good shit playing some people. But moving on, because I guess this isn't really the Fighters podcast. Broly and Bardock are not fun to play, in my opinion. And seeing them online, still not as bad as Kid Buu, but makes me sad.
Come on, Cat, you're pissing me off.
Fucking Christ.
You can keep going, because I can hear you. I'm just trying to catch my cat.
I thought you were chasing your cats out of your room, but I wasn't, sure if you could hear me or not. So,
I'm trying.
The next thing on the docket is, for its 40th anniversary, SNK is listing, basically it's the Neo Geo Classic. It's gonna have...
I'm actually really hyped for that.
I'm excited for it, but I didn't see anything about how many games are on it or what games are on it, and that makes me sad. Because I googled this, and I also looked up because they're also releasing a 40th anniversary collection on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and I believe Switch. Might just be Switch, I don't remember. But there's nothing on that either, even though there's a limited edition through Nipponichi.
Actually, there was a news article a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
part of episode 12 I was going to cover, there actually was a list of some of the games that are going to be on it.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think the list was a little underwhelming because there were no Fatal Fury games, no King of Fighters games.
That's fucking stupid.
There was no Samurai Showdown, no Metal Slug games.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. It's on Polygon, and it says Alpha. You get Alpha Mission, Athena, Crystallis, Ikari Warriors 1, 2, and 3, Guerrilla War, POW, Prehistoric Isle, Psycho Soldier, Street Smart, TNK2, and Vanguard. And that's just a few of them.
Yeah, that's not all of them, but they did not announce any of their flagship series for that.
No, there's no Metal Slug, no World Heroes, no Samurai Showdown, no none of their fighting games actually.
And can I just say, World Heroes was fucking fun.
I'm mad that there's no fighting games in that. I understand why, because most of them are available via PS4 or Switch, but come on, man.
And there's no Windjammers, dude. That game was fucking great.
I've never played it.
That's I don't know. I've played Disc Jam, and that's the 3D version of Windjammers.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up right now. I just want to see a couple of seconds of footage. Oh, they put it on. They either put it on PS4 or they're putting on PS4.
It is on PS4.
There's an announcement at PlayStation Experience 2016.
It's been on PS4 for a bit.
Oh man, this looks fucking cool. Okay, yeah, I gotta buy this. Fucking Christ. But anyway, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be pretty underwhelming. I'm excited to see what else is gonna be in it, but I'm gonna wait and get that news before I make any decisions.
Yeah, I'm really in no rush to buy that, but
no.
I mean, I am a fan of SNK to an extent, and I don't think they're gonna leave off their flagship series.
No, I don't think so, but I want to know which games we're getting specifically. Because if there's no Garou Mark of the Wolves, I'm gonna be sad. I don't care about the rest of them. Also,
part of the news from last week, they announced that Metal Slug XX,
yeah,
which was previously only on the PSP, is getting a PS4 launch remaster.
That's cool.
Although I could have sworn Metal Slug XX was already on the PS4.
Okay.
But,
I'd have to look.
Yeah, I am interested in this 40th anniversary deal, especially this if they're going to make their own console for it. Kind of like a SNES Mini, like what Nintendo's been doing. I am interested in it. I really have never heard of any of the games that are on it. I haven't heard of Ikari Warriors, but that's because of AVGN, of course.
Yeah, I've heard of Ikari Warriors. I know of Athena and Psycho Soldier, and that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really heard of any of them, but I mean, I know fucking SNK games are just so expensive. Not many people grew up with them.
No, because the Neo Geo was really powerful, but it was also very expensive.
Yeah, it was like a $700 console
back in the 80s. Fuck, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was late 80s and into the 90s too.
Yeah, that's you can't fucking afford that. That's like saying that you're gonna pay $1,200 for a fucking PlayStation today. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
That's.
So moving on from that, I mean, it's an interesting thing, and I hope it does well.
Oh, me too.
Because that's only going to help drive, the retro style and whatnot.
Yeah. Plus, the Neo Geo really was kind of marketed as it's the arcade in your home, and I think that it really lends itself well to that kind of whatever system classic idea. But anyway. So I hope it does well, and I especially hope that SNK doesn't fuck up and take a loss on this.
Right? Kind of
curious as to
Sega's doing. Like fucking Sega's doing.
Yeah.
They announced their Sega Mega Drive / Genesis Mini, which is gonna look like the console, how Nintendo's doing it.
Yeah.
But they're still using the fucking shitty fucking At Games technology.
Oh fucking Christ!
So it's why even fucking bother? At Games is
that's
trash.
just a waste.
At Games is fucking terrible.
Well, I remember last Christmas, I read an article about how that was going to be a thing, and I was when the rumors were first circulating, like, oh, they're going to release a Genesis Mini, and I was like, oh, cool, right on, like, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it was at games. It was one of those little fucking at games, little square boxes.
Yeah,
There's like nothing inside of it. It's like fucking not even. You couldn't even use it as a paperweight. That's how light it is.
yeah, it's fucking BS. Waste of money.
But yeah, as soon as I heard about that and I read that tweet and it said they're using at games, I'm like, well, there goes my fucking my hopes for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, moving on. Anyways.
Yeah, moving on. So Dark Souls remastered. The Switch version has officially been delayed until summer 2018, and this comes from the Dark Souls Twitter account.
And the Amiibo as well.
And yeah, the Amiibo will be launching alongside it. However, apparently the PS4 and Xbox One and PC version, I believe there's a PC version. I'd have to look at the article again.
PC, yes. PC, PS4, Xbox One.
They're still releasing on the 25th of next month, of May.
Yeah, that was in the tweet by the Dark Souls Twitter account.
Yeah. So I honestly don't see this game as being much of a priority for me anymore. Like, I love Dark Souls. I really do. But I also think that while I would like to play it on my PS4, it's I need to see how much it's going to cost first and foremost, because games are fucking expensive nowadays. And what else is coming out next month? Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out next month.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Switch.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors Complete. Hyrule Warriors next month.
Yep.
There's a couple of anime games coming out next month.
Next month is a big fucking month.
Next month's a big fucking month, dude. Like, I don't think, as much as I'd like to own a copy of Dark Souls again, I've already played and beaten Dark Souls, so it's like,
I don't think there's a reason to prioritize it.
There's no reason to prioritize it, exactly. It's kind of like the DMC collection. When that came out, I was really excited for it. And then I was like, well, I could buy something else with this $40.
Not to mention that the DMC collection is just a remaster of a remaster.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the worst part is I owned that fucking remaster back when I had a PS3.
So did I. And my PS3 died, as I've said multiple times, and I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
I also played that remaster on the 360 as well, so.
Huh. I wonder how it handled between versions, but so Nippon Ichi is in some fucking shit right now.
Oh, when aren't they?
That's true. So Ys 8 suffered like 3 delays coming to the PC. Right?
Right.
I believe we covered one of them on the podcast about how like they were delaying it again because they really wanted the localization to be like top notch this time. And these motherfuckers dropped it. And apparently there's still a lot of issues with it. So what it says here is that there are issues with the frame rate. There's issues with the game taking up too much of your memory via like memory leak. There's an issue where render resolution and screen resolution are not the same. So like it's going to take the same resources on a low-end monitor as a high-end monitor, like a 640 by 480 versus like a 4K monitor. Which according to one Steam review, that's it's mentioned in the Siliconera article on this, that it makes the game borderline unplayable on certain machines. Now, there's also issues with the gamepad and keyboard / mouse, which it doesn't actually note what those issues are. I'd assume it's just like maybe controls don't always register or something.
Sounds about right.
Hmm?
So that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds like fucking stupid. But Nippon Ichi actually released a statement on this. So they gave a list of issues, and they linked a tutorial on how to troubleshoot the controller issue. They also noted that they will be slowly fixing these problems as they arise. However, one thing that caught my eye, because I don't really care about some of this stuff, is that there's still text issues. Now, the funny part about that is that the whole reason that they delayed it, at least one of those delays, was to fix the goddamn script. Now, I don't know if the text issues are like the new script isn't displaying properly, or if it's like the new script is fucked up, like it's wrong, but regardless as to what the issue is, it shouldn't happen.
Oh, no, I agree.
Right? Like... So my thoughts are, like, it's good on them to fix these issues, but kind of like with Dissidia Final Fantasy, like when I saw the DLC, it's too little too fucking late. Like, there's really no excuse for this. There's still issues that they claimed that they would be fixing in the previous iteration. And yet, at the same time, like, there's another flip side to this where if you look at the Silicon review, like the Steam review that they linked, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a PC gamer, but this angers me. Because, like, first and foremost, Nipponichi shouldn't have had these problems, but, like, PC gamers are a bunch of entitled little shits.
I know, right? Fuck them.
Like, here's the thing, right? It's all well and good that your PC is a gaming machine. Like, you can use it for gaming, you can use it for music, you can use it for... It's a very versatile instrument. And you can build your own, which is great because it means that, you know, like, you don't have to buy a new fucking console every so many years.
Right.
And, you know, you can get all your games digitally for cheap, and it's, like, a really good investment. But at the same time, because there's so much versatility in the machines that you have, it's difficult to optimize shit for your fucking PC. Console, like, when you get stuff for console, it's like, it's gonna be optimized for that console. Every PS4 is the same. Every PC is different. Down to, like, what monitor you're outputting to, you know, shit like that. Like, it makes a difference. And if...
To be fair, though, Nisa did fuck up with the console release, too.
Right? Like, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that it just kind of brought to my attention that it's like, gamepad and mouse issues and making the game unplayable, that's fine. That's fine. I understand that. That's game-breaking, in my opinion. And, you know, like, if the resolution thing really does break the game, that sucks. And there's no excuse for the frame rate being low. And there's no excuse for the game taking up so much of your memory on your PC.
And yet they're still releasing it on the Switch on the 26th of June.
Ugh, that's funny.
I can only imagine how that's going to go.
Poorly.
They're 0 for 2 already, as it is, in ports.
Yeah, in a word, poorly. But, like, who the fuck cares if you can output it to 4K?
The game's not even optimized for that.
No, exactly. And to me personally, 4K doesn't make much of a fucking difference.
No, it doesn't. It honestly doesn't.
It really doesn't. It's like 3D. Like 4K is all well and good, but I think that, you know, if you're playing it on a PC monitor, you're so close to the screen that your resolution's not really going to matter that much after you hit, you know, like 720, 1080. You're not playing it on a goddamn IMAX.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're not sitting there in your big comfy recliner with your fucking... Oh my god, PC gamers just irritate the shit out of me. And then they have the gall to say that, like, haha, PC gaming master race. Do you know what's ironic? And I'm going to get kind of salty about this. The reason Yahtzee made that joke, the PC master race joke, is to make fun of those people.
I just generally don't like them because they shit on consoles because they think PC is so much better. And in some aspects it is. I'm not going to deny that.
It is better in some aspects. I'm not going to deny that, right?
But, they shit on console gamers because, PC gamers are sometimes forced to deal with ports that are made for console, not as optimized as, they can be.
Which, to be fair, part of that is the company's fault, but they also can't take into account every variable. Like, in the review, they mentioned the Dark Souls PC port. I did not play the Dark Souls PC port, right? I didn't. I own it, but my PC wasn't good enough to run it. I'm sure they patched it to high hell since it came out, but honestly, it's a sad reality that if you like something on PC, it's safer to buy it on console or to wait.
Or then you got the people that bitch about, when's it coming to PC? It's been out for so long already. It's like, well, motherfucker, you want to play? Go buy yourself a console.
Do you know what's funny? It goes both ways, too. It's like, okay, when XCOM 2 first came out, it took a goddamn eternity for that thing to come out on PS4. And it's the same thing with, like, there's a lot of indie games on PC, and there's a lot of strategy games on PC. Like, Crusader Kings, never going to come to console. You can't put it on console. FTL, never going to come to console. I think you can get it on iPad. That's about the closest you can get to getting it on console. Like, it goes both ways. It really does. Like, I understand why they're upset. And I do think, PC gaming, generally, if you have the money, is the smarter way to play. Like, I prefer console because I like playing on my TV. I just find it's more comfortable to play, on my PS4 or whatever.
Yep,
but,
same here.
That's because that's how I grew up. Like, it's to each their own, and I understand that for the last, 5 minutes I've been shitting on PC gamers, but it's like, it's a matter of personal preference.
Yep, sure is.
Everything has its pros and cons. That's like saying, if you go to a restaurant, it's like, do you want the chicken or the steak? The stickin'. Do you want the chicken or the steak? It's like, both of them can be good, both of them can be shit. It's up to you which one you want more.
Yep.
Right? But anyway.
So,
I've had my fucking rant.
Let's talk about how the Dutch are now classifying loot boxes as gambling.
Oh my god, I'm so happy to hear this. So, the Netherlands Gambling Commission has claimed that loot boxes are now considered a form of gambling. Quote, they in the article that we have here, they compared it to slots and roulettes. Which is true, because that's basically what it is.
Right.
It's just it's a glorified slot machine. They noted that they tested 10 games. Among them were Dota, FIFA 18, PUBG, and Rocket League. And they noted that 4 games had gambling elements where items trading in to provide economic value, which is basically a fancy way of saying microtransactions were involved.
Well, at least they were testing some pretty decent games.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, at least they didn't test fucking Battlefront. Well, I mean, I'm sure they probably did, but...
I mean, what I meant was they didn't, test all mobile games.
No, because if they did, then that wouldn't really be a fair representation, right? Like,
right.
But anyway, it's just like... It says here that of the games they tested, 4 of them had exploitative mechanics, which would be against the rules of chance, which... Basically, I don't know how it is in the Netherlands, but in Canada, you can't... If it's considered to be gambling, you cannot market something unless it also involves a test of skill. Which is why when you go to do, the lottery in, I believe it's Quebec, if you win the lottery, they ask you a math question, because then technically it's a game of skill. And it's like a simple math question. It's like, what's 2 plus 2? Oh, it's 4? Oh, congratulations, here's your $1 million.
Now it says here that the 4 problematic games will now have 2 months to change their loot boxes in order to comply with Dutch gambling laws, or risk being fined or prohibited from being sold in the Netherlands. Now, it doesn't say exactly which are the 4 problematic games. However, they did only list 4 games among the 10 tested. So do you think Rocket League, PUBG, FIFA, and Dota are the culprits?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of intrigued now on which games they're talking about.
I wish they would reveal it, but I don't think they can until the 2 months are over.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Honestly, I'm more curious as to whether those games are going to change, and I don't think they will. I think they'll just pull out.
Well, I mean, I know Rocket League, based on... Unless you want to buy the microtransactions, because if you buy the crates, the item crates... You can get, that stuff for free in the game as well. Like, it'll randomly unlock after you play a game.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is all well and good. You don't have to buy the micros, so I don't think Rocket League really is a problem.
No, I've never played Dota, and I've never played PUBG, and I've never played...
Yeah, I've never played the other 3
FIFA.
either, so I can't really tell. I mean, I've watched people play PUBG, but I've never seen a microtransaction aspect of that game either, from what I've seen of it.
I honestly think that, it's probably... Those games, as far as I know, they probably fall into the the other category, like the 6 games where there were no issues, but they were very heavily criticized for how they implemented them anyway, even though they didn't violate any laws.
Man, I wish they listed all 10 games that were tested, because I'm
Yeah, that
curious
would have been nice, eh?
what the other 6 games were.
Well, it's quite possible that, and I don't know if this is really the case, but to test some of them, they might have had to be like, you can't disclose that you're testing them.
Possibly. Do you think maybe 1 or 2 of them could have been mobile games as well? Because it doesn't necessarily say that they only tested console games or PC games.
I don't know. I think they probably did, simply because
you want to get the market, idea from everywhere.
Yeah, you want to have a fair representation of what you're looking at. If they test mobile games, I'd rather see them test games with gacha systems, like
all of them.
Literally all of them, as opposed to shit where it's like, hey, pay 99 cents to remove ads. Hey, kid, you want? I'm trying to think of games that kids play. I haven't been around my siblings in a while, so. Huh?
Roblox.
Man, I remember Roblox. Fucking Christ.
That game is still big, man. Still big.
It was huge in middle school.
Still big now.
I sank so many hours into Roblox as a kid. But, oh man, that brings me back. Fucking Christ. I feel like an old man.
So the last thing we have to talk about is a 2-parter
on Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4. So you got the rumor. So you want to talk about the multiplayer rumor first? You want to talk about how the game is not going to have a single player campaign, which I think sucks.
Well, I want to talk about the thing that we know for sure, and it's the single player. So here's the weird part, right? So we got this article through Game Informer, but Game Informer is reporting on Polygon, reporting on, quote, multiple sources. Now, the weird part is, this article is written like Game Informer didn't do any fucking work themselves, other than like the usual thing where they give their opinion at the bottom.
Right.
But anyway, so I thought that was kind of weird. But the actual article states that, quote, Polygon sources claim that there will now be a focus on multiplayer and zombies, or like co-op. There's no comment from Activision themselves on why this is. However, it has been stated that the game is dropping in October and that they cannot implement single player by that release date.
Yay.
Now, the million-dollar question is, why the fuck don't you delay it?
I don't think they want to, because
it's a big seller.
Not only that, but a lot of people, they know that a lot of people buy it just to play online.
Yeah, and I was going to say, that makes sense to me, that they kind of did this. I'm not happy with it. Kind of like
how there's actually a statistic out there on that 99% of Mortal Kombat fans claim to really like Jade as a character. Yeah. But yet they're proven statistics that only 1% of online players played her online. That's why they didn't bring her back for Mortal Kombat X.
That's weird.
So maybe that's kind of what they're doing here. Not many people playing the single player. Fuck it, get rid of it. You know?
Yeah. Which is kind of funny to me because more often. Okay, I'm gonna drop some knowledge.
Truth bombs. Here we go.
Some fucking truth bombs. When it comes to this stuff, if you want people to play your campaign, you make a campaign worth playing. I'll give you an example, right? I bought Battlefield 1, the World War I Battlefield game, because I thought it looked really cool and it was on sale and all the DLC was bundled with it. So I was like, fucking right, I'm gonna buy this.
Right.
Now, I also bought Battlefield 4 with all the DLC and stuff too. And Battlefield 1's campaign is fucking good. It's very well written. The gameplay is pretty fucking good for a shooter. It's reasonably varied, and it's not one thing I find about these military shooters, and this is me from the outside looking in of the U.S., is that they jack off the U.S. pretty goddamn hard, right? And the thing I like about Battlefield 1 is that it's not about how great your country is, or that you're not a god among men. They take the fact that it's World War I and they portray it as realistically as they can. They don't portray it 1-to-1, obviously, because it's still a fucking first-person shooter on consoles. But they portray it respectfully.
where each story is character driven instead. So you're playing as like, your fuck, I'm trying to think of an example. The intro mission, for example, is you playing as the Harlem Hellfighters, like the first, I believe it was the first black brigade in the U.S. military, and you are not expected to survive. And every time you die, you switch to a different character. Like you will die. You are meant to die in the tutorial.
Right.
And I think that the way that's portrayed is very good because it's really visceral. And then each story is like a very somber, personal thing where it's like, one of them is about an Australian guy's like relationship with the kid who runs and sends messages from command in the back to the front lines, and like how that affects him. And spoilers, it's World War One. The guy dies at the end to protect the kid. And even then, if you know anything about World War One, like the campaign turns out to be completely pointless because the British lose anyway.
Right.
Like there's shit like that, and I think that's really well done. So like Battlefield 1 has set a very high standard for campaigns. So COD not having one makes sense to me because they can't win. Right?
Right.
And when it comes to this stuff, people tend not to buy these games for the campaign anyway. Like, you're totally right to say that.
For the most part.
But for the most part. Like, I don't buy fucking Battlefield for the campaign. I just think the campaign is like the campaign is basically a way to learn how the game has changed. It's a glorified tutorial. But at the same time, I think that it's bullshit to pay full price for a game that doesn't have any single player, other than co-op. Because let's face it, they're going to charge full price. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that, honestly, this sets a very dangerous precedent for the industry, because the industry has long been moving away from couch co-op, and now they're probably going to start moving away from single player if this game sells well, which, let's face it will.
I mean, they're already moving away from single player as it is, so
Yeah,
if this game continues to sell well, what they're going to do is, I can see it now. They'll cut single player from the game and then release it as a DLC.
Yeah, I was thinking, because like the way this article is worded, I don't know if it's just me and the way I read it, but it's worded in such a way that it seems like it might get patched in or added in as DLC later.
I can see it being DLC just to fucking...
Oh my
for them
God.
to keep their hands in your pockets.
That would be some fucking bullshit.
Speaking of changes that may be happening to Black Ops 4 in terms of multiplayer.
I've got some shit about this one too. This is why I saved this for last, because I really just wanted to fucking shit on it.
Oh, here we go.
So it's only a rumor, but apparently Battlefield, goddammit, Black Ops 4's multiplayer will be structured similarly to Overwatch's. This means that there will no longer be any perks, but there will instead be hero classes and a focus on kill streaks and unique abilities. Now, before I begin, I just want to ask, how the fuck do you do that? Now, here's the thing, right? Here's what let me explain, right? Overwatch is like a game where it's like superheroes and shit. Like, that's basically what all those characters are, when you boil it down. It's superheroes. What fucking hero classes does Call of Duty have? White Soldier number 1, White Soldier number 2, White Soldier number 3, Token Black Guy, and Donald Trump with a golden pistol. Those are your fucking 5 options.
Jesus Christ, you could have mixed it up a little more.
You know, if you get some DLC, you might get Mike Pence with some nipple clamps and a car battery.
So you're saying you won't get an Asian?
Probably not. Maybe you'll get a Russian, but he'll be like an evil Russian, like, yes, I am going to destroy America.
I mean, they did threaten us last week.
That's true. That's fair. But honestly, I guess, this is going to sound kind of cliche, but like, if they really wanted to fuck with people, they'd cut it out. Like, they'd actually, like, just cut this entirely. Because apparently, playtesters hated this, and they are going to be scaling it back. But they'd make a press release that's like, no, this is bullshit. We don't have any hero classes because all our troops are heroes.
Yeah, right?
Like, they'd make some fucking PR nonsense out of it. which I wouldn't agree with. In fact, I think that's actually taking advantage of how America views its military. But I think it'd at least be funny for them to do that. What if, like, our hero classes are, like, you get, like, one, like, a life-sized toy soldier, like those Green Army men. You get, like, you know, a couple of white guys, Donald Trump with a golden revolver, Mike Pence with a car battery and some nipple clamps. He only does melee, of course. He only does melee.
The black guy's the meat shield.
The black guy is obviously the meat shield. And it's like, you know Tyrese Gibson, like the actor?
Yeah.
It's him. Or Terry Crews. The most you could hope for from this is, like... Because the thing about that is that one thing I found weird is that they claim that there's going to be a focus on kill streaks, but Call of Duty already had a focus on kill streaks before.
I think it's just another sense of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And do you think if they do go through with this, I mean, how many people who love Overwatch like Call of Duty in the first place?
Not very many, honestly. Overwatch is it's a very unique game from what little I've played of it.
So
I don't like it. I hate its community too. But that's another story.
Do you think that if they do that, now with the inclusion of them getting rid of single player campaign, if they change the online to be like fucking Overwatch ripoff number 2 or 2000, I don't know which.
Yeah, I don't know how many is out there, but there's at least 1 or 2.
That would only leave people with a consistent zombies mode that they know they can still enjoy. Do you think this will impact sales and will start to kill off the Call of Duty series?
No, I don't. I'm a pretty pessimistic guy when it comes to this kind of stuff. I think that it's gonna sound really shitty and like I'm an edgy teenager when I say this. People are sheep, and if they're gonna keep fucking Christ, they're gonna keep buying Call of Duty as long as Activision makes it, until Activision no longer makes it. Like, Call of Duty might as well Call of Duty might as well have died after Ghosts. People shat on Ghosts, people shat on Advanced Warfare, and people shat on Infinite Warfare, right?
Dude, people shit all over Infinite Warfare.
Exactly.
That was the one in space, like where they thought they were being Halo? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Fucking Christ. Yeah, I made fun of that game, like, religiously. It was a fucking fun pastime. But when it comes to that stuff, it's like, COD went back to World War II. I think that's good. I think that's... I haven't played it, but I think that's a good idea. Given all the modern shooters that we have, like World War I and World War II shooters,
right,
and, like, shooters that are set in all the wars in between, at this point, you know what? I would be happy to get the War of 1812 Battlefield Edition.
And who knows, at the rate we're going, in a decade or two, we might see Call of Duty World War III. Literally.
Fucking Christ, I pay for that.
So, but honestly, I mean, you really think people are going to buy something they know they're not going to like if this becomes the case?
I do. I really do. I think that if there's even the slimmest hope that it's going to be good, then they're going to buy it. Like, I personally, I'm gonna talk about myself, because I'm a sheep too. Bah, right? I can't do it. My voice is too monotone. I can't get the vibration in there. But I have bought games that I know I don't think are great in the past. Like, I bought KOF 14. I don't think KOF 14 is really good, but I like King of Fighters, and I wanted to support that series. This is what you have. You've got 3 different people. You've got the guys who are going to buy it because it's Call of Duty, because they like the brand, like they like the previous games. You've got the guys who don't like what's going on but want to support the series, and then you've got aggravated moms and dads who are going to buy it for their 12-year-old kid. Those are the 3 people who are going to buy COD Black Ops 4.
I'm going to say the child demographic will probably be the leading one.
Oh, definitely.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Well,
I'm actually a little sickened by it, honestly, if you want to know the truth. Like,
I kind of hope they don't go down that route of ripping off Overwatch, because You know what? They have
Yeah.
quite the defined formula for their online play.
The weird thing is, man,
They don't
Call of
need to.
Duty.
They don't need to do the whole Overwatch thing.
No, they don't. Call of Duty did not invent the first person shooter, right? Like Doom and Wolfenstein kind of did. But
And GoldenEye refined it.
GoldenEye refined it, but then Call of Duty introduced a lot of stuff that made the first person shooter what it is. That it and Halo are really the two big ones, right?
Right.
That made FPSs what they are today, where it's like they're an esport, you make your game like this, not like this, you write in this kind of stuff, like that sort of shit. But now Call of Duty has gone from a leader to a follower. Like, COD was really, to my knowledge, at the very least, you had it had a bunch of World War II shooters, but then it kind of invented or implemented some new mechanics in some interesting ways. Then they decided to make modern shooters instead, which is fine. And then everybody else started to make modern shooters too. But then what you have is, because they kept trying to be relevant, Call of Duty is like, you ever see the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes. Who
You
has
know Uncle Rico, and how Uncle Rico was stuck in high school where he was, footballer or whatever?
Right.
It's like, I used to be able to throw it right over the mountain. Like, that is fucking Call of Duty right now. They're stuck in the past.
I mean, before you know it, we're gonna hear about the Call of Duty fucking PUBG edition.
I was just about to say that. They're behind the times, man. Like, what's popular right now? Overwatch is fairly popular still.
PUBG is fucking killing it.
PUBG is where it's at. Like, people really like Fortnite and they really like PUBG. I personally fucking hate them.
Okay, I don't hate them. I just don't want to play them. I just don't care to play them.
I get the appeal. I just don't like them that much. But so regarding that, I think that so what you have is Call of Duty was trying desperately to be relevant, so they did Ghosts, where it's oh, now you can play as a fucking dog or whatever. And they did Black Ops, which was kind of neat. Some of the Black Ops missions are actually pretty cool. They did the zombie mode and stuff. That was kind of neat. I don't think they were the first ones to do it though. I think Halo or Gears of War was the first one to make Horde mode a thing.
Gears of War, I know. I'm pretty sure Gears did it first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gears did it first, but I'm not sure. But then then they did Infinite Warfare, and that was just fucking Halo.
It was awful.
Was that the one where Kevin Spacey was the bad guy?
I don't remember.
Because Kevin Spacey was the villain in one of those, and it's fucking hilarious. But anyway, and then you got it went back to World War II, because Battlefield went back to World War I, which, whatever, returned to form. It's sold really well, and it's gotten good reviews. And now they're doing this shit. And it's Halo wasn't really that relevant when they released Infinite Warfare compared to what it used to be in its heyday. Overwatch isn't as relevant as it was a year ago, or even 2 years ago. And then I bet you what they're going to do is they're going to probably have a battle royale mode of some kind, like PUBG or Fortnite in the future.
Well, I could see it. I mean, remember that game Mag that came out on the PS3? That tried to do it first?
I really don't.
It was a 256-man battle royale kind of multiplayer online game, where it was I think it was teams of 128 versus 128. Only they did their battle royale style differently, a team deathmatch type thing. But I definitely think PUBG is doing battle royale correctly, and I don't think Call of Duty needs to be something it's not. They should just stick to what they are. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore. I'm not gonna buy it. It upsets me. I think it sets a really dangerous precedent for how games are going to be in the future.
I mean, I'm not going to buy it either. I'm just saying I think they should just stick to what they are, because they don't need... Call of Duty's made a living and a big success off of being its own thing. Why turn it into something else? just because something else is popular.
Mm-hmm.
If your formula
Yeah,
works,
it's like-
if your formula works, you don't need to change it.
No, not at all. The way I see it is like Battlefield, right? Like, change it because you want to, not because you're trying hard to be relevant.
Right.
With that said, that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah, with that
I
being
think I've kind of
said,
exhausted myself on that. Like, I don't really know if there's anything else I want to say. Like, I don't even think it's really worthy of my time, so I'm not going to get it.
right.
And it's
Yeah.
also just a rumor, too, right? So it's like...
It's
not
a
the single-player
rumor.
thing, the
Overwatch
DLC thing.
Yeah.
Overwatch Hero style multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, it is a rumor, but I could honestly see it happening. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, folks, this was part 1 of episode 13. Cypher and I are trying to get back into a groove. Hopefully we don't have to take another week off anytime soon.
Shouldn't have to.
Tomorrow, what are you looking at, like, tomorrow? Like, you got anything going
I'm
on?
not busy at all tomorrow.
So we could bang out part 2 tomorrow night. And that'll be it for the weekend. There's actually not that much news compared to the past couple of weeks. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, folks. And until next time, for Cypher, as always, my name is The Rose, and I'll catch your ass down the road.